Good afternoon, and thank you so much for tuning in again today. My name is Sharon, and today I'll be talking about embracing different seasons in life. Now, life is a series of different things that happen, and I like to use the metaphor of the year's seasons to also reflect it into our own life and our own personal journeys, right? So, right now, we've just come out of a season of winter where things were cold and dark and a bit gray. And I know for me, it's definitely not my favorite time of the year. Now, the same applies also in our own life experiences. Things are not always summer and shiny and bright, but you also get times in your life that you can classify as winter periods where things are very dark, where maybe you might not be getting opportunities like you had been hoping for, where you might also be going through significant experiences that are painful, like loss, like deaths, things that are just very hard to navigate. So now what I want to talk about is learning to embrace each season as it comes because by now we've learned that life is not always the same. There are times of great joy, but there are also times of sorrow. And a lot of the times when we are in a season of difficulty, we try to find a quick way to get out of it, or we tend to be so uncomfortable that we deprive ourselves of learning and of also sitting in that experience and reflecting on it with honesty. So my encouragement to you this morning is that let us be patient with every season that comes, because what we can learn from the seasons of the year is that nothing lasts forever. We may have times in our lives where things are very gloomy, where things are very gray, but like the seasons of the year, it doesn't last forever. It's only for a particular period. Then you can look forward to something new happening. But what is important is that when we are in those seasons of gloom, when we are in those seasons of darkness, that we look after ourselves. And one of the ways in which we can do that is by reaching out to people around us that can support us, maybe even going for therapy so that you remain grounded and also so that you don't sit in the discomfort alone. Another way that we can look after ourselves when we go through a season of darkness, is to set boundaries for ourselves. Because when you are going through something difficult, it can be very easy for you to go everywhere trying to get help, trying to get a quick fix. That is why you find people even getting into things like Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes where they end up being scammed because you are struggling to endure a difficult season. So it is important that no matter how tough things are, you put a line for yourself, that you will remind yourself of your values, you will remind yourself of an integrity so that you don't cross over into doing things that do not identify with who you are. Now, I understand that it's not always easy to implement these things because at the time, you can easily become so hopeless. But I also say that let us allow the seasons where things are well in our lives to be an encouragement to us that it can get back to that. Remind yourself of past victories, remind yourself of previous achievements, and remind yourself of other difficult things that you've gone through that you were able to come out of. And let that be let those memories be a reflection that indeed you are capable and that you can still do it again. So, as we embrace the different seasons of life, let us be true to ourselves, let us be honest, but also let us see it as all being part of our journeys. Because in this life, unfortunately, some things we have no control over and there's no shortcut about it. So I hope that whatever season that you're in right now, that you will live in the present, that you will take lessons from it if it's coming with lessons, but that if it's a joyful season, that you will also sit in the joy and embrace it because you deserve it. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And remember, whenever you do need help, there is no shame in reaching out. Have a nice day.